You, I think it's going to work first time. So the red circle cross in the middle means nothing. Just know that for yourself. Hi, I'm Chrissy. I hope you're well. It's Sunday and I haven't seen you live for a while. You've probably noticed I've had a rather busy week with my grandmother's funeral on Wednesday, and that was a fairly emotional week. And I think when I last spoke to you, I had been to visit her, and on the Wednesday, on the Thursday, I talked to you. On the Friday morning, she passed away. And on this Wednesday, just gone, we had her funeral. And so it's been kind of a week of reflection, quite a bit of indulgence, I have to say. I've indulged quite a lot in eating a lot of delicious and rich food, probably drinking a little bit more than I have for a very long time, and yeah, and just kind of allowing myself to have whatever I felt like at the time, really. And that's okay to do every now and then, isn't it, to indulge yourself a bit? But I do notice actually after I've indulged myself a bit that my other activities quickly start to feel more challenging. So sleeping becomes more difficult, running becomes more difficult, and letting go of your emotions becomes more difficult. So that's kind of the trade-off. When you indulge in one area, you compromise another area, which is actually really interesting. And I was thinking about that overnight because last night I watched again, probably for the third or fourth time, a documentary on Netflix called Heal. And if you've never watched it before, I would strongly encourage you to watch it. It is quite groundbreaking, very insightful, and also could probably lead you to ask yourself some serious questions about your health and well-being, particularly in respect of your emotional health and how that impacts you going forward. And all of that has a knock-on effect to our physical health. And that was one of the programs actually that after I decided that I wanted to be healthy in order to be around to look after my children when I was suffering from a lot of quite long-term illnesses, that inspired me to kind of take necessary steps and actions, and I became a lot curious. So the first thing was a decision to get healthy. And to do whatever that took. The second thing was to listen to my body, to ask my mind and my heart some serious questions about what I was thinking and feeling, because I realized that until I sorted out my mindset and sorted out my emotions, and it didn't matter what I put in here or what I put out here, nothing was going to change. So I focused on those two things first, my head and my heart, and the rest of everything else followed on from there. Which is interesting because, I studied science and Heal and various other programs that I've since watched, and information and journals that I've read. I understand the science behind it. It's when it starts to trip into the kind of more woo-woo aspect of things that people start to kind of pull back, because as a society, we've become quite indoctrinated into what we believe and to what we should do and to what's normal and what's not normal. And there's this idea that everything in moderation is okay. And that's fine. But the reality is that by its definition, the word moderation is, if we have everything in moderation, then we could only expect to have moderate health. So if you have moderate health, then you're still susceptible to illnesses and diseases and so on. So therefore, the concept that everything in moderation isn't actually accurate. You'll probably hear a lot of noise now because the kids are coming back from their bicycle ride. And I kind of started to realize that as well, because as a mum, I wanted to be a grandma. And when you become a mum in your 40s, your chances of becoming a grandma start to stretch further and further. And I've got friends from school who are already grandmas in their 40s, and I don't necessarily want to be a grandma in my 50s or 60s. I'd much rather be a grandma in my 70s or 80s. So therefore, I wanted to be healthy in my 70s and 80s. And indeed, my grandma passed away when she was 94. So I'm 44 now, and that means I have, relatively speaking, pretty good genes. But your genes are a product of your environment. And I thought, well, if I'm less than halfway through my life now at 44, because she's lived for 50 more years, what's the next 50 years look like? And then actually, what do I want to be doing in my 90s? Do I want to be laying down in a bed, or do I want to be walking about and enjoying life? So there's another question. So I decided in my 90s, I want to be walking around enjoying life. So it's about what I put into my body, what I put out of my body, but also actually it starts with what's in my mind and what's in my heart. And those two things need to work in harmony. When you have heart and brain coherence, the rest of your body starts to function more optimally. And I want to have optimal health, because when you have optimal health, your chances of getting sick diminish, and you live a much healthier, longer life. And so that's really true, because since I have focused on that in the last 12 to 18 months, my health has improved exponentially. So today, for instance, this week, I have run a cumulatively 48.92 kilometers. That's the furthest I've ever run in my life in any 1 week. And it's interesting because I did indulge this week in too much rich food and too much, bubbly wine and stuff like that. And hi, Cara. Hi, Cara. I'm talking on the video.
There's you.
Yeah, there's me. I'm talking. So can you wait for me downstairs with Clodagh while I do finish my talking, please?
Sit on my lap.
You want to sit on my lap? Okay, lucky me. Here we go. Okay, but you have to sit quietly, okay? So sit quietly.
That's me.
That's you, yeah, but you have to be shh. Okay. Shh. So, where did I get to? So that brings me down to
Bunny rabbit.
Yeah, diet and lifestyle. So with the diet that you choose to eat and the lifestyle that you choose to live and what you choose to think about and what you choose to carry in your heart and what energy you put out. So when you think about energy, you put out energy through burning calories, but you also put out energy through your energetic field. Your energetic field sits within 3 feet radius of your entire body, because there's a lot of energy and particles moving inside of your cells, but also on the surface of your body. So it's really important to think about the energy. So you might be able to let go of things really easily mentally and not carry stress and emotions in your body for long periods of time, and that's great. But on the contrast to that, you might stuff your cake hole with the wrong foods. Now, it's been proven through science that a diet that is high in both meat and dairy is not healthy for us. And as someone that grew up on a cattle station, that was news to me. I've been milking cows since I was 7. So I really had to start to make some mindset shifts in terms of what I ate. And now, since I've shifted to a more predominantly plant-based diet, I've had improved health, and all of my chronic conditions have dissipated. So I wanted to kind of share that, really, because it's, given me quite a lot to think about this week with my grand passing and where and how I want to be living in the next 50 years. And I wanted to share it. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm making a video. Can you play with your sister, please? Thank you. So yeah, what I did initially was decide to get healthy. I watched Heal on, thank you. Could you just wait till I'm finished, please? Can you turn it off, please? Could you just press the red button, please? Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So what was I talking about? Oh, watched Heal on Netflix. Then I watched the entire series of The Paleo Way. Then I watched Vegucated, which is a documentary on YouTube. Then I watched Forks Over Knives, which was on Netflix. Then I watched Game Changers, which is on Netflix. And I started to be really curious about how being on a more plant-based diet could help my health and well-being. So the poem that I'm going to share today is a kind of culmination of all those things. It's kind of looking at our life as being at the crossroads of our life and deciding, how we want to go forward. I'm just going to close the door. And I want to share the poem because I think it's not only apt just for health and well-being, but where we are with all aspects of the world right now. So here it is. It's called Crossroads. I'm on a path to paleo. It's becoming all the rage. I'm hearing all the veganism and the argument they wage. My body is a temple, but the maintenance is poor. I need a reboot and a boost to my heart, my gut, my place of roost. I wake up to the struggle that my brain channel isn't clear. I'm not hitting the 8 hours and suffering with fear. The days are long when sleep is short. I hit the wall, my mood is fraught with an overwhelming urge to scream. Am I making my life harder by not following my dream? My dream is for a wholesome life, accountability, trust and care, for the planet, all the people, and my own welfare. I'm wondering how to set things right, what little effect I could cite. I'm starting with myself, sleep, diet, kindness and honesty. Uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure, the keys to vulnerability. It's common to learn and then to preach. I want to use my lessons to teach. The world we accept is not that free. The information is out there to see. Take control and grow your awareness for your family, yourself, and the world around us. Your mind, your soul, your physical being. You have the ability to learn the healing. Prioritize these and regain your strength and thank the past for the lessons sent. So that's my poem called Crossroads. I hope you like it and it inspires you. Taking one small positive action each day can set you onto a path to transformation. And I really feel that in myself. And, there's absolutely no way 12 months ago or 18 months ago I could run 48.92 kilometers in 1 week and not have any pain in my body or health conditions to be concerned about. So I want to share that message of health and wellness. It starts with here and with our heart, our mind and our heart. And once we can get those two working in coherence, the rest of our health will follow because we start to actually care what we put into our body, how we look after ourselves, what we nourish ourselves with, and what energy we put out, both calorific energy as well as our energetic field. So that's my message for today. Go down and see the girls now. And thanks so much for watching. It's great to see you. Take care. Bye.